Guess it would help if I turn on my mic, wouldn't it? I'm Eve with the baby's booty again. Hello, where you can hear me now, finally. Thank you, Miss Patty O and Kingsbury and Robin Bryant and Kim Smith for letting me know I forgot to turn my mic back on. Well, hello you all this evening. We are here. We're just going to discuss embroidery questions that you may have and see if we can't get a hold to some great answers for you this evening. It is super hot here in North Carolina today, and I was just like, forget it. I'm not thinking super hard. We're not gonna do a whole bunch of nothing. We're gonna chill out today and have a great time. So again, Miss Patty O, Miss Kingsbury Crafts, hello, how are you guys today? Miss Ethel Smith, welcome as always. Miss Pat Bagwell from Walhalla, South Carolina, hello my love, thank you for joining us this evening. Robin Bryant, hello. Kim Smith, Jessica Padilla, hello, how are you too? Daphne Woodard, hello. Miss Bickham, hi, how are you? Carol Coleman, hey Miss Carol Coleman, I was just looking at your number and I was like, ooh, Miss Carol Coleman. How is everyone? Miss Eartha Lewis, hello, how are you all? You guys, oh my gosh, can we turn down the heat? Is it too early to complain? I've been in here sweating and I was cleaning up in the studio, trying to get ready for, I've been telling you guys we're going to be doing some big changes here and remodeling and whatnot, and that's finally coming to a head. It's exciting. So I'm just trying to go through what I have here, figure out what I can get rid of, what I can keep, and make life a lot simpler here in the Baby's Booty studio. So I'm excited. Miss Bobby 21, hello, how are you? Welcome, thank you for joining us. Marilyn Ray says hello, Phenomenal Creations, hello, good evening, Miss Even, everyone from New Jersey, hello. Dorothy Gaston, hello Miss Dorothy Gaston, I got your package, ma'am. Printed the postage, it's in the car, so it's going out in the mail Monday, so I do have it ready to go. Miss Bickham says hot. Yeah, I'm sure it's hot down there too. Janet McKinney says hello, Eve. Hello to you as well. You have a package coming in the mail. Miss Jessica Padilla, good, everything good, very hot in Puerto Rico. I bet it is hot. You're closer to the equator than we are, so I guess I shouldn't complain, should I? April Smalley says, good evening, everyone. Miss Debbie Kidd, hi, love. How are you? Welcome. I hope everyone has been doing well this week. We had a excellent month, right, with Will doing his daily videos showing how to do the different crafts and answering questions about the needles and stabilizers and whatnot, so that's been pretty exciting. We've been doing in the hoop teddy bears. He did the in the hoop kitty. I forget the name of the kitty, but I'm sure he'll pop in and let us know what that is. So there was a lot going on in the hoop this month. So the month of June is upon us, you all. How exciting is that? This is the halfway mark, halftime, right? So already 2019 is almost halfway over. Sobering a little bit, but exciting. So what are your plans for the summer? The summer is upon us. We have a lot of festivals upcoming, which I also will be joining in on more festivals, come to find out, over the next few months. So pretty excited about that. So there will be a lot of on location things, not on Sunday, thank goodness, but Friday evenings and Saturdays. So there's a lot going on. It really is. I'm excited about the changes. Miss Ethel Smith, yours is in the mail as well. So you guys are planning on doing what? So this is Memorial Day weekend. I don't think there's any major holidays coming up, if I'm not mistaken, right? June? Nothing planned for the summer, Miss Debbie Kidd says. Trying to think. You did the teddy bear project, the 4x4. Did you enjoy it, Miss Jessica? They are so tiny and cute, aren't they? That's the one thing I do like. They will make excellent kitty cat toys to fill them with catnip. Or if you have a little dog, the little toy dog size. This is perfect little bear for them to tote around and play with. So super excited about that. Oh, Father's Day. Okay, Father's Day would be upon us as well. But it's funny, Father's Day really doesn't get the marketing pull that the other holidays do. So as far as getting things ready to sell for that, I guess it could be, because it's customization. Monogramming handkerchiefs, monogramming ties, the funny little boxers with the squirrel on it, things like that would work really well to sell in your studios or on your websites or in social media to drum up that income. You said you have a hard enough time trying to get your work done now. Yes, when you're super busy, it does make it difficult to stay up to date. Hey, Miss Karen Caldwell, how are you? Welcome. Diana Henderson, you as well. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Lupe, hello, Lupe. How are you? Cooking gloves. Yes, yes. Oven mitts, cooking gloves, aprons. Embroidery Library actually has some really cute apron designs for guys, you know, barbecue king and stuff like that that could be embroidered on the front of an apron. And I thought it was interesting. I overheard someone asking, where do you get aprons from? But I know Hobby Lobby carries aprons, so that may be somewhere you could go and pick up an apron and embroider on it as a gift for Father's Day, for June. So I guess that could work really well. Bridget says she's a newbie. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us for the first time. We appreciate you being here. If you have any embroidery questions or some sublimation questions, vinyl questions, rhinestone questions, just drop them in the comments below and we'll see about getting your questions answered. Let me make sure my ringer is turned off on my phone, and it's not, so I don't get you guys eardrums blown out if someone did decide to call. 4th of July is the following month. Yes, so there are quite a few actually embroidery designs already coming up. Fireworks, bling designs are pretty hot right now, so definitely look into those. Miss Gracie, hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Debbie Kidd, OMG. You did not, girl. You got you a sublimation printer. That's what's up. Oh man. So what do you think your first thing you'll be working on sublimating? That's going to be a lot of fun. I've been having a ball. I really have. So sublimation has turned out to be exciting because I find myself finding things or looking for things, actively searching for things that I can sublimate, you know, because it pretty much boils down to microfiber or polyester, because microfiber is polyester. So or any type of polyester material. So if you have, like, if I'm not mistaken, even this minky fabric, because I know fleece is polyester, so like this minky fabric, which is microfiber, could actually be sublimated on, along with a number of things. You just have to make sure that whatever it is you come across can accept the heat press. What's going on right here? I don't know. Let's close that out. I was trying to keep my phone open for chat. Okay, well, chat works, so we're gonna leave it alone. Where did you get the ink for the printer? I got that off of Amazon as well. I got it off of Amazon as well. Hey, Shonda Coleman, how are you? You're always on time, my dear. You're always welcome. The door stays open. What kind of ink do you use for sublimation? The heat press is on the way, says Miss Kim Smith. Well, that's awesome. And Patty O did say June weddings. I didn't overlook that. I forgot to mention, yes, June weddings, 4th of July, Father's Day. All of those things are pretty exciting, and looking forward to creating things that you can use to earn a little bit of change on the side, you know, in your shop. So that will be a lot of fun. The ink that I used for, of course, is nope. I have the empty bottles right here. So I got it off of Amazon, and it was a 4-pack of ink, and I don't see the name of what it is. Wait a minute, is it on the box? Oh, it's on the box. Duh. Oh, it's been a long day. Can you tell? But I also ordered ink from another company as well. So it's not just this particular company that I have ink from. Okay, so it came with 4 colors. It came with the syringes to refill the system with, like if I were using just the cartridges. But I don't use just the cartridges. I use the continuous ink system. I don't know how well you can see the tube coming from the side of the printer, and it's going to the reservoir over there. So I pour all of my inks in there. I don't really need the syringes. But I ordered mine from Ink X Pro from off of Amazon. Ink X Pro. So if you're interested, hit those guys up. I don't have a link to sublimation stuff in my store on Amazon, so I may have to add that if folks would like to use. Well, you can still use the Amazon affiliate even if I don't have it listed in the store. If you click any of the Amazon affiliate links I have and then go do a search and click there to purchase, it still counts as if I sent you there. So if you would like to, you're welcome to do that. But the ink that I ordered from off of Amazon, flawless flawless prints. Now I will say, and of course I left it in the car, I could have showed you guys, for those who follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I posted the other day, I worked on doing some keychains, and with the keychains I did 2 of them, a set of 2. All right, so 2 for my dad's clothing brand, the No Look sports brand, and one was a baseball design and one was a basketball design. And then I did one with sublimation paper, and then I did another set with regular paper. Okay, because come to find out, you actually can sublimate with regular paper. All right, so the thing is, you print it out on regular paper, you can put it on whatever your sublimation substrate is, press it, and it will actually sublimate with regular paper. But what I've found is the sublimation paper, or the paper that's made for sublimation, transfers more clean. It transfers cleaner. So the shirts and stuff that I did with sublimation and the regular paper, you kind of really couldn't tell the difference between that and the sublimation paper. But when it came to the hard substrates, like the business cards I did, or the puzzles, or in that instance the keychains, you could clearly see the difference between the 2. So it's evident that sublimation paper does have a place in the sublimation process. It is beneficial if you're trying to get that high quality printout for your customers. Now if you're doing something like shirts, or maybe a blanket that has the texture to it, I haven't noticed the difference yet between using the paper versus using the sublimation paper. But those hard substrates, definitely was able to tell a remarkable difference. And I got the sublimation paper off of Amazon as well. I did find a newbie here, sublimation. Okay, so sublimation, oh, graduation is a good one, Miss Big. Even though most of the kids have pretty much graduated in this area, a lot of the kids have. Okay, so got the ink for the printer. I'm skipping around and I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna go back. You tried to adjust the bobbin tension on the bobbin case, but saw a green kind of glue covering the tiny screw. Should I remove it? No. Well, this is the thing, you have to make sure that you're careful and know what you're doing when you adjust that screw on the bobbin case. I generally don't advise adjusting that screw unless you do the bobbin test and you see that it really is super loose and you want to adjust that. Then what you want to do is just be really careful. It's the largest screw, as long as it's the largest screw, and you turn it just barely until you see that it's actually tightening the tension enough. If it's too loose, or if it's too super tight, then you barely tighten it left to loosen it up a little bit. But I mean, that's like extreme. If you check the bobbin the way I showed you and it's definitely sliding and it's not really holding a good tension, or is super stiff, then even if it's super stiff, I still would say leave the bobbin alone, adjust your tension up top. All right, but if it's sliding like straight through, then feel free to adjust the tension, but do it barely, like bare hairpin turn and check it. Hairpin turn and then check it, because it's really easy to throw that thing out of whack, and I would hate for you not be able to get your bobbin tension back. But it really isn't that hard to adjust the tension on the bobbin, but I suggest to just be really careful adjusting that bobbin tension. All right. But that little green covering, you don't have to take it off, because when you put your screwdriver down and you turn it, it's going to turn with it, and it may come off, but it may stay, because I do have one that still has the green on it. Let's see. Oh, okay, so in where you are, they're still graduating, so that definitely would be a good thing to go off of, like mom of the graduate, sister of the graduate. That is a pretty big deal, especially for bling shirts. I did a bling shirt for someone for a graduation present this year. Okay, so Bobby says, newbie here, sublimation. Well, sublimation is this totally awesome sauce process that has come about in the customization world. From what I understand, it's always been, not always, but it's been there, but it's just now trickling down to where the common person can use the same process. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with, and this is let me see a better way to put it. So okay, let's use this for an example. Like we made had some coffee mugs made, and had an image, full color image, put on the mug. Okay, so this is sublimation. You can't feel it. There's nothing on the surface that you can feel on this cup. That's because there's a coating or a substrate on this cup, so that when you press and use the heat, the ink that's printed on the paper in the image transfers to the actual surface of the cup, and the surface, for lack of better words, absorbs the ink, so it becomes a part of the poly coating on this mug. All right, so you have polyester shirts, it will work the exact same way. You sublimate an image on the shirt, it'll feel as you won't feel anything other than shirt when you touch the shirt. The ink doesn't come off. We've tried two different types of chemical that would, like, one chemical is a vinyl remover, so if you heat press vinyl on a shirt or whatever, you can use this really potent stinky stuff, and it'll take the vinyl off of the shirt, or even a hard surface, it'll take the vinyl off. This does not take off sublimation. There's also another chemical that's used in screen printing that can help screen print or get the ink off of screen print errors off of shirts, and it blasts dirt off of shirts and stuff too. There's some awesome stuff. I need to look into it because I don't know the name of it, but I've used it and it's awesome, and it stinks too. But anyway, that also will not remove sublimation. So once that ink is sublimated into the fabric or into the substrate, it's not coming off. All right, so it pretty much essentially becomes a part of the item. And sublimation can go on so many different things, and I have a catalog here, and I'm gonna show you guys a lot of that. I know we mentioned we were going to discuss embroidery, but being that sublimation is coming up and I'm just now getting into it, it's cool to let you guys know what I've been experiencing with sublimation myself as a newbie. Okay, so I'm new to it as well, and I'm learning right along with you guys. So it is cool to be able to tell you. April says, I have a sublimation printer. I use it much because I don't have good software. I don't use it much then because I don't have good software for it. They do make sublimation paper for cotton now. I would also like to know if you've looked into the laser printer. All right, so I have not looked into a laser system at all. Usually laser, when I hear laser, I think expensive or more expensive than inkjet, all right, of sorts. So currently what I'm using is a I'll say bargain basement version of a sublimation printer. I didn't purchase a Sawgrass, or I think it's a Rico, is the name of the other sublimation printer. I didn't purchase that, but I do have an Epson, and it uses sublimation ink, and it's working beautifully, might I add, for a fraction of the cost of the Sawgrass or the Rico setups. All right, so when you're saying also that they do make sublimation paper for cotton, I have yet to come across that. I know that there's a fabric in a paper form that you can sublimate on and cut out and press it to cotton, so you're not actually sublimating on cotton. And I know there's heat transfer. I've done heat transfer before. It's not vinyl, but it's a paper with a coating that when you print on that paper, the coating transfers to the cotton, and it will actually put the image on cotton. Now that's different from sublimation. That's not the same thing, because you still will have to feel whatever the material is. And there are sprays that you can use to treat cotton garments to turn them into a sublimatable garment by spraying this specific it's called dye press, I believe is the name of it, or dye press. The only problem with that is, from reading the reviews, as time goes on, as a customer washes the garment, that substance washes out of the shirt. One problem that I've heard. And then the second problem I've heard is when you spray that substance onto the shirt, all right, it takes time. You have to spray a special substance on the shirt first to remove the chemicals in the shirt that were created during the process of making the shirt. All right, so there's a chemical that's on all new shirts, so you have to spray this stuff first to treat the shirt. Then once that dries, then you go back and you spray the shirt with the dye press and let that dry. And once that dries, then you can sublimate on the shirt. And you can't speed up the process by pressing the shirt and drying it that way. So it's kind of like a drawn out process to try and be able to sublimate on a cotton shirt, when you can purchase a polyester shirt to begin with and just sublimate on that, or even a polyester blend. So if it's like 85 versus 15 cotton, 85% polyester, you can still sublimate on that shirt. There's just a portion of cotton in it. So there's some things that you want to test out first before you actually put this in front of your customer. Like, for instance, the poly blend shirts. All right, so it's been told through many different hands doing sublimation and the experience with it, that you sublimate on a percentage of a shirt with a percentage of polyester, rather, then that percentage is what will remain in the shirt. So say, for instance, 65 versus 35, 65% polyester, 35% cotton shirt. Well, the 65% polyester, that 65% will hold on to the ink, but that 35 will take over some of that ink, and 35% of your design will wash away. 35% of the vividness of your image. Different ones have tested it. Some people say that it works that way. Yes, most people say that it will wash out that 35% of it. The others say no, it looks just fine, as if it did when I pressed it. You will have to try that. I know in my household that will be a good test to run, because my husband does the laundry usually, and when he does it, he doesn't care. High heat, everything. Wash real fast, everything. So, you know, it would be cool for me to try it there, because we're rigorous with our washing our laundry, bleach and stuff like that. So it would be good for me to try it and see how that would work for a regular customer, and that way I can tell the customer from my personal experience with my dye and how my printer system is set up, this is how the shirt is going to work for you. So you can expect that this particular shirt will fade a little bit, or it may work and it never fade, you know. So these are things that we're learning as we go along, and we will definitely go over this more. Sublifix, thank you, Miss Karen Caldwell. That's another version of that spray, and we'll see how things go with sublimation. So far, I absolutely love it. And then also, April, as far as good software, I use Microsoft Publisher. I mean, the software, from what I'm finding with sublimation, really doesn't make a difference. The thing is being able to print out a good quality picture. And there's a lot of different software programs out there that can print a good quality picture. You just have to know how to size it to what you need in order to create your sublimation blank. All right, so if you're doing like, for instance, these business cards versus doing a bracelet, okay, two completely different sizes, and all it takes is measuring how big this is, how wide versus how long it is, and measuring and making your pictures fit pretty much how I did with my bracelet. So I did this with Microsoft Publisher and put all of the faces on my bracelet with Microsoft Publisher. I didn't use any specific sublimation software program or anything anybody else would try and say you need to buy in order to make it work. I'm using what I have, and it's been working very well. So don't get discouraged with using your sublimation. Let's see, Bridget, somebody said I seen it. What did y'all see? Sorry about that. Somebody said I saw that. I don't know what you saw. Okay, I don't know what y'all saw. Okay, Bridget says your craft room shop is beautiful. How long did it take for you to get it to look like that? One of these days I'll make a video showing my process 3 years ago from where it started. I really wish I had a picture of what this looked like prior to me cleaning it up. When I first came in here and found it, it was almost trashed because whomever, the house was empty for 4.5 years before we moved in. So folks had learned they could break into here because it's separate from the house, and they pretty much ransacked the whole thing. Spray paint was on the wall. It was crazy. And I took the time to clean up and paint and add lighting and all. It's been a long work in progress. All right, so it has taken a while for it to get to this point. I'll say where it is at this exact moment in time is kind of chaotic. I do more projects than just embroidery, sublimation, rhinestones, and vinyl. So I have sewing patterns out the yin. I have bags and boxes of patterns, sewing patterns. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crates there, one cube there, a drawer full there, and ask me how many times have I used the pattern to sew something. I'm waiting on an answer, because if the answer is, then your answer is right. So I have tons of stuff, fabric, blanks, crafting supplies, crafting stuff that I'm just not doing anything with. So right now things are a little hectic in here, and I'm getting ready to purge a lot of things and streamline it down to what I know I do on a regular basis. So it took a while for it to get here, and I do love it. It wasn't supposed to have a pink and green theme, but at the time that was what Dollar Tree was big on, was pink and green, and I love Dollar Tree, so I use Dollar Tree a lot in my decor, and so that's how it came about. So I appreciate you checking that, Miss Bridget, and one day I'll do a video showing beginning to end. I don't know when I'll be able to do that because there's a lot of pictures over a long time, but I'll have to put it together. Miss Beckham said I didn't know they have it for cotton. I have yet to see that, and I'm tied into quite a few folks in the industry, and I have yet to see anyone say anything about sublimating on cotton directly. Shannon Margaret, hey Miss Shannon Margaret, how are you? Welcome, my love. Thank you for joining us this evening. Carol Coleman, is that the Hammerhill paper I was using? Yes, I used Hammerhill for the shirts and stuff, but when I used Hammerhill for keychains, the key fobs, which I don't have on me, it did not look that good. I mean, it sublimated, don't get it twisted, it did sublimate. You could clearly see what the item was, And if I get a moment, I may run out and grab it. Actually, I mean, it's on Instagram. So if you get a moment to check me out on Instagram, it is The Baby's Booty, just like you see for the website down there. The picture is there and it shows the difference. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So I wouldn't stick with the Hammermill paper. Is it Hammer Mill or Hammer Hill? I don't know. Oh, it's right here. Let's see. It is Hammermill. So the Hammermill paper, I wouldn't stick for that with Sublimation Blanks, but with the shirts, yes, way to go on that. And Miss Carol Coleman, thank you very much for the super chat. I definitely appreciate your donation to this channel. You're a very strong supporter of this channel, and many of you are, and I definitely want to make a quick point to say thank you for those who are supporting the channel and the cause that we have here at the Baby's Booty Studio. We are going to be getting classroom space too. How cool is that? Just found that out this week, and I've been dying to tell y'all some of the stuff, but I'll let that cat out the bag as time goes on. So soon you will be able to, if you wanted to, travel to specifically come to a Baby's Booty seminar. So I'm excited about that. So yes, all of those donations will go towards all of that. Gracie says, I have a question for you, darlings. I'm thinking of buying the Brother PE 800. Does anyone know if it's a sewing machine and embroidery or just embroidery? PE means that it's just an embroidery machine. The SE versions are those that are both embroidery and sewing. So that would be just an embroidery machine, and that's an excellent embroidery machine as well. Thank you, Miss Lucas, about my dress. I appreciate it. And Shannon Margaret, thank you. I look awesome today. How is your weekend going? My weekend went very well. I've had a good weekend, even though yesterday was super hot and today was super hot, which is why I'm like shoulders out. So it is one of those weekends where I've had a really good time, but the heat is draining, so I have to be really careful. I woke up with a headache, so I had to take a midday nap, but I feel a lot better now. Monica Grant says, hello, what machine would you suggest for a beginner? Well, Monica, that depends on your budget. If you have a beginner's budget of, I'll say 300 to 700, even then you have two options. You can go with a 4x4 Brother embroidery machine that you can purchase at Walmart or on Amazon, which I do have a link in the description below to my Amazon store, and both machines that I'm going to mention are on there. Or you can go with like the PE 800, and it is a little bit larger than 4x4. It goes up to 5x7 embroidery machine, and you will absolutely love that version. But that one's a little more. It can range $600 to $700. Sometimes you can find it on sale a little less, but rarely does that happen. So you could choose either one of those, Miss Monica, or if you have a couple thousand to spare, there are some larger machines that you can invest in, some larger Brother machines and others out there. You just check around and see where your budget takes you. But if you're looking very bare bottoms beginner, then I would suggest using the lesser money and save the extra money you may have to invest in designs and software and stuff like that. Miss Debbie Legier, hello to you as well. Lupe says, thanks a lot. You're welcome. Miss Bickham says, graduations here are the end of May till the second week of June. So you do have quite a bit of time to jump right into making sure that you can capitalize on some of that income from selling shirts, or custom fans is something that's pretty hot here too. So doing the cardboard fans for people with the graduate's face and image on it. Bridget says, do you have to have much experience learning to sublimate? Well, sublimation is something that I took my extra time to learn and get into. And the funny thing about sublimation is you don't have to have experience, so to speak. And the reason why I say that is you have to have experience in knowing how to manipulate folders and photos and arrange them, or whatever it is that you're going to sublimate. So used to be back in the day, it was called desktop publishing. I think now it's called graphic design. I'm not great with graphic design, but I do know how to manipulate graphics. What do I mean? So say for instance, again, in doing this bracelet, and I keep going back to this because this was a little bit challenging for me. And the reason why it was challenging is because of how small a surface this is. Usually pictures are 5x7. You're talking about pictures this size, and I'm shrinking them down to fit on this bracelet. And I had to cut and crop each one of these little pictures, like this one here on the end of my grandbabies. I had to take, I'm trying to get it to focus a little more. I had to take 4 individual little photos and make them small enough to form one 2x2 grid to put their pictures right there on the end of that bracelet. Whereas this next picture was more of a larger picture that I had to shrink down to fit there, and then put my other little grandbaby right here down at the bottom. So it's like you have to know how to manipulate. That's the hardest part, really, in my opinion, is knowing how to shape and measure for your pictures to get them to fit where you want them to on whatever it is that you're sublimating. So a business card sized blank like this, you would have to know what this size is. And honestly, it's not rocket science. It really isn't. Some people can make things harder than what it actually is. All it boils down to is, if you can't find the size online, measure it yourself. So I pulled out my tape measure and I'm like, okay, well, this is 2 inches. And then this way is, I want to say 3.5, and I think that's what it's supposed to be, 3.5. And so you have to make sure whatever you put on this blank is 2 inches by 3.5 inches minimum. So no, maximum. So you can go smaller, but you can't go bigger because it's not going to fit. So as long as you know how to manipulate photographs and print them out, you can do sublimation. I mean, and the thing is, you print it out, reverse it before you print it out, reverse it, print it out in reverse, lay it on whatever you're printing it on, press it. Now you do need to know the temperature and the time that you need to press these on, but wherever you purchase your blanks, they generally will tell you what time and pressure you need to use to sublimate your items. And sublimate your items, press it, wait for the time to count down, open it up, wait for it to cool off. Don't ask me how I know that. And then take the paper off. Now there's a few more fine-tuning steps, yes, but for the most part, that's sublimation. All right, so what I would suggest is, if you're looking to get into it, do a little bit more research, watch a few more videos, and then get right into it, down and dirty, because I have been having a really good time. There's a lot of really cool blanks out there. Debbie D, hi love, how are you? She asked, where do you get your sublimation blanks from? So far, the majority of my sublimation blanks I have been getting off of Amazon. All right, so what I basically did was logged into Amazon, typed in sublimation blanks, and looked for what popped up. The majority of the things that came up were keychains, mugs, which I haven't done mugs yet, puzzles, and some license plates, and a few things like that. There's some odds and ends out there. You just have to be really careful and know that it needs to be something white or something metal to sublimate on. All right, so there's some black things I saw on there, and they're like, yes, these are sublimation blanks. You don't sublimate on dark items unless you have a specific coating or a specific material that you can sublimate on and put it on the mug. All right, so don't fall for that, but that's where I get the majority of my blanks from. The other place is Conde Systems. There is a website, dietrans.com, and they have sublimation blanks. They have keychains and photo panels and things like that. But then I also found JDS Supply, which is here in Charlotte, and they sell sublimation blanks as well. And you guys, when I tell you all of the stuff that they have available for sublimation, is scary. So there's so many things that you can do and get into that if you're not careful, you will lose your mind. All right, so We will go into a lot of these here in a moment because I have actually been sublimating on shoes as well. So I've sublimated some slides. What type of press is needed and where can that be purchased? Bridget, you can't post a picture on YouTube, but you can post a picture in the hoop group if you're in the hoop group. If you're not, you can post a picture to my Facebook page, The Baby's Booty, on Facebook, and you can post a picture there, I believe. I haven't ever had to do it, so I don't know for sure. The type of press is a heat press, and that is also on Amazon.com. I've gotten excellent presses from Amazon. The ones that I have purchased are from a company called ePhoto Inc., ePhoto Incorporated, and their customer service is awesome. So I ended up breaking my press, called them. I know what's wrong with it. It needs a new control panel. New control panel, oh, that's $25. We'll mail it right out to you 2 days. I had a new control panel. My heat press worked again. So $180 press. I didn't end up, I thought I was gonna have to buy a whole new press, y'all. Ooh, y'all just don't know the bullets I was sweating. So their customer service is great. My original heat press that I just changed the control panel on, nothing else has broken on that. It's from Amazon and it's lasted. It's pressed without any issues, no cold spots, nothing. Some of these crazy things folks are saying about a cheap heat press, I haven't had an issue out of my cheap heat press yet. So I do have a link to that in my YouTube page, I know for sure. Marge Campbell, hello, how are you? Debbie says, I'm now comfortable with my Brother 4x4 and ready to step up to a bigger hoop. Does anyone know the differences between the Brother NQ1600E and Brother BP 1400E? Do they both do multi-sized hoops? Well, that is a research question that I would actually have to Google the model numbers and find out. Those larger numbers, I'm not familiar with them right off the top of my head. I'm more familiar with the smaller machines. So we would have to Google that, and we'll try and do that before the end of the show. Hopefully I don't forget. Remind me. Rhonda C says, hello, how are you? April Smalley, you can use the laser printer to do dark shirts. I ordered the paper on either eBay or Amazon about 2 years ago. Okay, so now, is it a white toner laser printer? Because white toner laser printer you can do on shirts. Wow, thank you Debbie D for the super chat. Oh my gosh, thank you, I appreciate that. I love the support you guys have for this channel, and y'all just don't know what's coming down the pipes, and when you see it, you will understand that your donations are going to a fundamental, fantabulous cause. I'm getting my tongue tied because I'm touched. Thank you so very much, Miss Debbie D. Y'all, I just don't know what I would do without y'all on this channel. But the laser printer, ordered the paper on either eBay or Amazon, and you're sure it's Sublimation. Because the reason why I'm questioning, not because I want to say that you're wrong, because I don't want to say that, I don't know that, but I know that this particular company and one other company, especially Conde Systems, both of these companies are huge with sublimation, and they have a lot of the latest things with sublimation. Like for instance, this particular company, JDS Supplies, they actually have a product called Sub That. All right, Sub That. And Sub That is a material that you can use to heat press and adhere to any hard surface. So a piece of wood, for instance, or a piece of metal that is not sublimated ready, you can use this thin film and press it to that material, let it cool, and then you can after that sublimate on that same material because you put that film on it. So I had never heard of that before, and yet it was here in this particular catalog. So if there is a special paper that you sublimate and allows you to sublimate on the paper and press to a dark shirt, then it would be here. See, it would seem just like Sub Tag. Sub Tag is very similar to that. It's called Sublimatable Thermal Adhesive Graphic Transfer Material, suitable for cotton. It's not suitable for nylon or other coated textiles. So maybe this is what you're talking about, because this you can put on a dark shirt, as you see here in this picture of the guy with the octopus. But what they had to do was put this paper in the printer and then cut it out, cut the shape out around the octopus, and then press it to the shirt, kind of similar to heat transfer paper, which is not sublimation. So there are things out there, but that's the only material that I've come across so far that you can do completely separate on paper with sublimation and press it to a shirt. Everything else is called heat transfer, which is different from sublimation. So that's where I would like to, if you have a link or something along those lines and can drop it in an email to thebabiesbooty@gmail.com, I would love to check it out, because I haven't seen that around here yet, and it would be interesting to find something else out there that would allow you to sublimate on cotton. Marcia says buona notte. I'm not sure what that means. I can read languages but don't know what it says. And hopefully I said it correctly. Let me see. Jessica Padilla says, I have the SE625. It's a good one for a new embroidery. You bought it in December 2018. I have the 4x4 hoop and love the machine. It's a good one for starting and very easy. And it is. That 4x4 machine is super beginner friendly. I absolutely love it, and I suggest it all the time. So yes. CC says hooping is the hardest for me, and hooping is a fool. I'm not gonna lie to you, CC, or anyone else, because hooping, you kind of have to, like my grandpa used to say, or grandma, not grandpa, my grandma used to say, you gotta hold your mouth right. So hooping is something that you will learn, and it's more based on experience. So when I teach someone about hooping, I want to why can I not get my words out right today, y'all? When you hooping, you want to make sure it's tight, but it can't be too tight, because if it's too tight, your embroidery will come out distorted. So it has to be just flexible enough but tight enough. And I hate to sound contradictory, but we do have a video coming out for hooping that will help. And we also know of one of our viewers, she's writing a book on hooping, so hopefully that will be out and we can get a hold to that soon. But hooping it does have a little bit of a it's easy to do once you learn it, but there's a learning curve for it, especially if you've never done it before. It can be foreign. But the different materials all hoop differently. So cotton hoops completely differently from t-shirt material, and t-shirt material hoops completely differently from a towel. So you do have to learn the different substances. The thing is, when you press the inner hoop into the outer hoop, you just want to make sure that you're not struggling to push that. Like if you have to stand up on the table in order to push that in, it's entirely too tight and you need to loosen your hoop. But it shouldn't just slide right in either. You do have to kind of give it a little bit of force to go in there, but it's light pressure to put that in and make sure that your material is hooped correctly. So that is definitely a learning curve, CC, and we'll have some information coming out soon to help you out, I hope. Sandra says you love the 65, or you use the 6535 blend. It works great, but do not use bleach. It will fade if you do. So that's good to know. I think Will was using a 6535 blend, if I'm not mistaken. Will, is that not correct? I forget what the blend was you said you had, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't 85%. Kim Smith says, Eve, also that ink line for the printer, did you get that from Amazon? Oh, the CISS, the continual ink supply system. Yes, that did come from Amazon as well. So you would look up CISS, continuous ink supply, and you will find that on Amazon too. So now I see I need to create a section for sublimation on my Amazon store so that we can definitely do that. Jessica says, believe me, I'm a new one doing this, but I love it. I am glad you are enjoying your embroidery, ma'am. Will says, I'm home now, left it off in your studio. You use Illustrator. Publisher is really good as well. And you have been loving your new setup. Yes, the Illustrator, I am not a fan of Illustrator only because I don't know it. I get on there and I'm like, I can't figure this out. So Illustrator, I'm trying to learn it so that I can not say I'm not a fan. Publisher, I've known it, been using it all my life for the most part. Excuse me. So Publisher is my go-to, but I'm also trying to learn Corel Draw because I have it. And I'm trying to get proficient at Photoshop. Yeah, Photoshop. Photoshop is another one that's a really good program to use. April Smalley says, that's a nice bracelet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like to see all my loves when I every day when I get up and before I go to bed. Nancy Fowl says, hello to all from Iowa. Oh my gosh, y'all, it is already 10 till. That is crazy. Caroline Will says you can get treatment for cotton, but it is not great. And I was mentioning that a lot of people have drawbacks to using that Sublifix or the dye press material spray. Not everybody is a fan of it. Catherine Carr, hello, how are you? Pearl Lucas says, hi, even everyone. You look very lovely tonight, loving the blue. Thank you again. I did mention that earlier. Patty O says, that's cool. Thank you. Grant and Faber, hey, even crafters, how are you? Thank you for joining us this evening. It's always a pleasure to see you. Joyce Rickett says, on the PE800, it is a beautiful machine, but after having it only 4 months, it's not working. You need to make a phone call, ma'am. Give brother a call. From what I understand, their customer service is pretty good. So don't give up. Definitely. I'm not sure what could be going wrong with it, though. So that may need some type of service because it doesn't take much to knock a machine out of whack as well. Depending upon what you've been working on with it and what may have gone wrong with it. So definitely give brother a call and see what they advise you with. Stacy says, I recently bought the PE800 and I'm having trouble getting software. What do you advise? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do, Stacy. So if you're trying to do just basic embroidery editing, such as putting a picture and a name up under the picture so that you can line it up however you want, like you want the name going down the side in a picture. Okay, that's editing. And you can do that with a program called Sew It Pro. Is usually what I advise people because it's a user-friendly program. It's very affordable. It's $65. And it's not much to go ahead and get into it. And they have a free trial that you can try it out before you buy it. Okay, so you can go to thebabiesbooty.com and click on Sew It Pro. Download the trial. So if you have a Windows computer, just click where it says Windows and you can download the trial and try it from there. If you enjoy it, then you can purchase the full version and unlock that trial version that you have. So if you have a Mac computer, then it's a little more difficult because there aren't very many programs that work with Mac. But if you have a Windows emulator on your Mac program, your Mac computer, then you can run Sew It Pro. All right, so definitely check that out. There are other programs out there, but they're a lot more expensive than that. So that's why I suggest Sew It Pro. I have to do a video on that bracelet. Okay, I have to see about doing that. It was a lot of fun. Bridget says, I just decorated a graduation stole for a pre-K child. It really came out awesome. It was my first. I did not know that was a thing. Yes, it is. Customization, you guys. I'm trying to tell y'all, you're in an excellent business, an excellent field. Hone your craft, because if you just take a moment to find one or two of your favorite niche with whichever route you take, whether it's sublimation, whether it's embroidery, whether it's bling, whether it's vinyl, whatever the case may be, you can find a niche, settle in it, and make money. You really can, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you choose to do. Debbie Kidd, where do you get your substrates? Years ago when I did sublimation, I used Conte and Johnson controls. Are they still around? I have not heard of them. So Will introduced me to Dietrans.com, which is Conde Systems. But JDS, J is in Jam, D is in David, S. JDSindustries.com, right there. All right. And we will go into some of the things that you can sublimate so that you can see for those who are new about it. Like the pricks on the bracelet, do you need to seal it? No, Miss Beckham, no, not at all. Someone, who was that? I want to say it was Janet McKinney, I think, who asked about my bracelet and how long does it last. I've not, other than taking it off to show it to somebody and putting it right back on, I do not take this off. So I go to bed in it, I shower in it, I eat, sleep, everything in this bracelet, and not one picture has rubbed off of this bracelet. And I just dropped my book, dang it. And the cool thing about this bracelet is I have all the pictures on one side and I have a scripture printed on the inside. So it's two parts to the bracelet, and this one is up against my skin all day. It doesn't rub off, it doesn't come off, nothing. And like I showed, this is just, it starts out like this, and then there's a bracket that you use to bend your bracelet into shape after you press your images to it. So we may have to do a video on that. That sounds like that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun to do a video. Carol Coleman, you can post a picture on Facebook. Cool, thank you very much. Viola Perez, I'm trying mine tomorrow for the first time. I've been hesitant and it's been sitting for a year, but I feel confident. Thank you, girl. Get that embroidery machine out the box. Debbie D says, I love that you are here for us. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I have fun being here, and it's only because you guys are here that I'm here. It's not because of me. I do it for you all. So thank you very much. Without you, I wouldn't be at all. I'm trying to tell you. Bridget, can you show us how you made your cup, or do you already have a video on how you created your cup? I didn't make that cup. Will actually made that cup. Carolina Thread place that's in here with us with the blue wrench beside his name, he made those cups. And I can make a cup. I do have a cup heat press, and I can do a video on that. I don't have blank mugs at the moment, but I have been considering getting some, so that could be a subject of a future video. Leela says, hey everybody, hey, have been listening while planted flowers and cleaned off the deck finally. Well, my address is so you can come help me clean off my deck too. I would appreciate it, thank you. Deborah Little says, hey Miss Carol, man, you guys love each other. I absolutely love this, how everybody just interacts with each other. It just makes me happy. Miss Phenomenal Creation says, what is the best way to hoop towels? And I'm trying to catch up with the chat, and so that I can go over this book, because I'm super excited about showing y'all this. But the best way to hoop a towel, in my opinion, is to float it. That's pretty much how I do it. So what you would do is you would hoop your stabilizer, your tearaway stabilizer, in the hoop, and hoop that pretty tight, and then you will spray adhesive, and then press the towel on the top and embroider on the towel. And that's how I would hoop my towels. I don't actually hoop them. The only alternative to me actually hooping a towel is using my Mighty Hoop, which is a magnetic hoop. So your new magnetic hoop, if you have one that I showed you on Amazon, that would work great to hoop a towel too. So you could use that as well. The magnetic makes it easy. And Kim Smith, you are welcome. She says, Eve, I really appreciated your help with an awesome super chat donation. Thank you as well. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate all of your support to this channel. And even if you are not able to give monetary donation, I still definitely appreciate you being here, participating in the chat. It makes it more fun when everybody is in here and we're all having a good time. So thank you again, Miss Smith, very, very much. Brenda R says, good evening, Eve and the Hoop Group. Good evening to you as well, my love. And Aiko de Vincent says, hello, you're great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. April Smalley says, the paper is already coated and it is for cotton. The laser printer is the one you use on black shirts. It's almost like using the foil. I will go back to my account and see if you can find the link. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's been 2 years since you got the paper. Okay, so yeah, we would want to be sure that it's something that would definitely work. And see, Conde Systems uses heat transfer as well, and they have all the different types of papers, the sublimation papers, the heat transfer papers, and I haven't seen them do a sublimation paper yet, so that's what it would be interesting to see. Do you have any tips on multi-hooping on a multi-needle? Woo! I'm using a belt hoop to embroider a belt, and it will need to do 2 hoopings to complete it. Brenda? Prayer. Yeah, prayer. And math. Something I am not fond of is math. Now, I do a lot of the praying part, but the math, and preparation. So you basically have to plan before you even put anything on the machine if you're going to do multi-hooping on a multi-needle. I use my largest hoop. I line out every section. Like, for instance, if I want one line to be here, one line to be there, I draw an actual line with my water-soluble marker where the middle of that line will go and out to where it's going to be, mark my center, and do the same where I want the next line or embroidery to go, and do the same with the next one. That's how I actually do my multi-hoopings on my multi-needle. It is a process. I intended to do a video on that, and it's not my fondest project to work on. So doing the video wasn't as easy to do. So I think I did do a video and then something happened to the video. So to me, that was a sign. I just needed to not do it. But that is something we'll have to plan to do when I'm not stressed out. Because that's a pain in the butt. I'm not going to lie to you. Will says you use 100% polyester and the 65-35 and the 50-50 blend shirts. That's cool to know. So he's used all 3 and enjoys all 3. The Chunky Model TV. Hey, love, how are you? PixArt is a good Photoshop app and it's free. So there's another program that you can use to print out pictures to the size that you need it to be in order to use for sublimation. Sheila Noel says, hi, everyone. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Elizabeth Dalo says, OMG, thank you so much, Eve. I was having the bobbin thread showing on top. I took your advice and adjusted the tension wheel on top, and voila, problem solved. Everything is hunky-dory. Hunky-dory now. I am very happy to hear that you're having happy embroidering. That just tickles my fancy. And sometimes a lot of it is just simple, taking your time and finding out what's going on. And when people have an issue, a lot of times they're ready to just throw the machine out the front door, when if you just stop, just take a step back, and it's usually during a rush order. Have you ever noticed that it's when you really need to get something out by a deadline, that's when problems happen. But anyway, I digress. So if you take a step back, breathe, go grab a cup of coffee or tea, whatever can get you to calm down, put on some music that makes you feel better, just breathe, and then start going through the processes of elimination. All right, your first process of elimination is, when's the last time I changed my needle? Okay, so if you've been embroidering along just fine for the past 3 weeks and now all of a sudden there's an issue, try changing your needle. A lot of times that's the culprit. It doesn't take much for those needles to dull or get a burr or whatever the case may be. So try changing your needle. After you change your needle, check your thread path. How is the thread coming off the spool? Sometimes the thread just got caught on the thread pin, or it could be it came out of the track somewhere. Check that second. Rethread your top thread. If it's still having issues, check your bottom thread. Rethread your bobbin. Is your bobbin out or what? Check all of that. Then after you check the bobbin and the bottom thread, check your hoop. Take the hoop off of the machine. Don't unhoop your project, just take the hoop off. Look at it front to back. Is there bird nesting on the back? Is it floppy in the hoop? Is it not taut? You know, when you hoop a project, you should be able to tap it lightly and it sounds like a little drum when you tap it. Is that still good and taut and everything looks great there? Well, then check your bobbin, up under your bobbin rather, and your bobbin case. See if there's lint or dust buildup or something. There's just a whole list of check things that you would really want to go through, and check your tension as well. Once you do all of that and you're still having issues, okay, then maybe you want to panic and call the repair shop or something like that. But usually 9.5 times out of 10, it's one of those really easy things that you can fix yourself and not have a problem afterwards. So I'm glad you were able to get your machine back up and running. Let's see. Uh-oh, here we go. Jessica says, see you ladies. Thanks, E, for everything. You're welcome. If you're watching this later. Miss Leah Smadello, hello, how are you? She says, hi, everyone. Why do I keep touching that? Elizabeth says, I'm in Puerto Rico. I have a PE 535. Love you, blessings. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us from Puerto Rico. We have a lot of viewers from Puerto Rico. Thank you for joining us. Jessica says, time for bed. Tomorrow I have to work early. See you next time. Well, thank you for joining us for the time that you did. The Chunky Model TV says, what's an ideal needle size? I know you mentioned it in one of your videos, but I can't find it now. And Kingsbury Craft says, good night all, and good night to you, dear. The needle size that has been suggested is the top stitch 9014 needle is ideal all across the board for embroidery. The only time you would want to maybe go smaller than that is if you're working on a really fine, lightweight fabric such as silks or handkerchief fabric, something really super lightweight, and then you could drop down to the 7511 sharp. But for the most part, the majority of your embroidery can move freely and stitch without too many issues is the top stitch needle. Most industry professionals use the top stitch needle. So that's the one that I suggest for embroidery because that's the one that they request. Let's see, is there a crossover reference sheet on stabilizers from one brand to another like there is for threads? I haven't seen one. And the reason why I haven't seen one is because most companies that would do a stabilizer sheet probably make stabilizer. So when they suggest stabilizer, they only suggest theirs and they don't suggest other companies' stabilizers. So that's why companies like Madeira Thread or Ganold in Atlanta, Georgia, that's why I appreciate those guys, because if you sign up your business with them or your sewing studio with them, they'll send you a sample packet of their stabilizers so that you can see and feel and touch and know what their stabilizers look like and how it feels. And that way you can make a better informed decision about which stabilizer you would want to use with your project. And they also give suggestions on how to use them. So you can use that basic knowledge of how to use their stabilizer against other companies' stabilizers. Like for instance, one of the things that is mentioned quite frequently with stabilizers is the weight of the stabilizer. All right, so I'm trying to see if I have some here, and I don't think I do. Nope, I don't have it right here on me, and it may be over there outside the camera. But the thicker the weight, like some stabilizers cutaway will say 3.0. well, that's a thick stabilizer, and you will be able to see the thickness versus a 1.5 stabilizer weight, which is a whole lot thinner cut stabilizer. All right, so you can see the weight difference, and your weight difference also plays a factor into what type fabric or what type project you would use that weight stabilizer in. And all of the industry experts that create stabilizer can suggest to you which type fabric that would go in. So if it's a 3.0 weight stabilizer with Ganold, for instance, and they say you would use this in a sweatshirt, well then in Madeira they may not tell you what material to use it in, but they do have a 3.0 weight cutaway stabilizer. So you could you know, take that same knowledge and buy it from a dealer. Or on Amazon, even on Amazon, they tell you the weight of the stabilizer. In most of them, it will mention the weight, so you'll know what to look for in purchasing your stabilizer, even off of Amazon. So I haven't found a cross-reference sheet, but you can take that generic information from one or the other and use it in other projects with other brands. April says, I watched your video on key fobs, but do you have a video on how to design the fob from nothing? No, I don't. That's digitizing, and I don't have a video on doing digitizing of an in the hoop project, so I don't. I apologize. The Chunky Model TV says, wow, you made that. And Leo says the bracelet is nice. Yes, I did. I was determined that I was gonna get my babies on the bracelet. And when I tell y'all, it took me I don't know, it might have took 30 minutes to, it took an hour and a half to get all the pictures together. Now that took forever because I wanted certain pictures and they had to be a certain way. But after I got the pictures, it only took me maybe 30 minutes to line it up and get everything just right, and then put the description on the back. It didn't take long. JDS will send you full catalog packs upon request. Yes, they will, especially if you sign up with them, and they'll give you free credit towards Sublimation Blanks as well. And who knows, maybe they'll give a kickback credit if you let them know that I sent you. So let them know the baby's booty. No. Different name. Suitable Key Products sent you. So we'll have to talk about that part later. Let me know if you want to refer to them, and I'll refer you to them, and that'll be by Tuesday because they close tomorrow anyway. Can you technically make your own magic hoop? I guess you could if you were savvy enough to do that. I'm sure you can. Chunky Model says, I hate math. I hate math. Only math I like is money. And I even stressed out about that. And Brenda R, I'm stressed out just listening to you telling you how to do it. Yeah, the hooping is interesting. It really is. And it's better to see it being done. I'm trying to think of who has a really good hooping video that you could look at. I can't think right off the top of my head. I can see the video in my mind, but I can't think of whose video it is because it's been a while since I watched it. But definitely go out there and type in embroidery hooping and see what you pull up. I hope to have one out at some point soon. Who needles last 3 weeks? Mine. Don't tell nobody I said that. Clean out the bobbin case area in the case. Miss Marge Campbell says yes, that is a definite thing. Eartha Lewis, thank you, Eartha Lewis. Look at you being a major contributor to the hoop group. She says she looked up those machines, and I appreciate it because I forgot that quick. The Brother NQ 1600E is a 6x10 embroidery only. The BP 1400E has been discontinued by Brother, so you may want to be careful purchasing that one if you want to get support for that machine. Miss Old Deb says change your needle or bobbin also. That's what's up. And Marcia Jones says, hi, Marcia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. First time. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us, Marcia. And I hope I'm saying that right. It's Marcia, not Marsha. Let me know. And we definitely appreciate you taking the time to join us. Kim Lay says, hi from Australia. Sorry I haven't been in for a long time. Well, Miss Lace, we don't mind. We know sometimes you have to take a break. And if I'm not mistaken, the time change is pretty steep there. So is it not wee hours of the morning there? And if so, I can definitely understand you not chiming in, because if it's late hours, I would feel bad that you're up late. Leah says your Silhouette 3 arrived Friday. Wow, what an experience. Never used any of these machines before. Boy, the mat is sticky. First experience taking off the whole mess again with cardstock. Okay, so invest in a scraper of some sort. So there is a scraper that you can purchase from Cricut or from Silhouette. I believe Silhouette has one at Michael's. It's a flat edge scraper, and you can use that to take help make it easy to take cardstock and paper and stuff like that that's stuck to the mat. Yes, it's very sticky. For sure, it's very sticky, even with the Cricut. And you know that means we need to ring the bell for your Silhouette. Congratulations to you, Miss Leah, on your Silhouette. Silhouettes are awesome. I intend to get one. We'll cross that bridge later as well. Let us see. What size needle to embroider on leather or pleather? The 9014 top stitch needle works beautifully for that as well. Marsha is correct. Thank you. It's 11 a.m. Monday morning on the 27th. Kim Lace. Okay, cool. So the time difference isn't that bad. Well, thank you for joining us in the middle of the morning. So I appreciate that. Meanwhile, let's get to something really fun really quick because it's 15 minutes. Yeah, over 15 minutes after. And I want you guys to see the sublimation blanks that are available, especially for those who may not have done sublimation before. And you may see some things in here and be like, you know what? I have seen that before. Didn't know that was sublimation. It was sublimation. All right. And Nelson DeVincent, I believe. I know I'm saying that wrong. That's because Will didn't remind me, Miss Barbara Nance. You know he was supposed to remind me of that. Yes, I need to ring the bell for Will. But Miss DeVincent, I believe. Thank you. She also donated to the channel, but she did it through PayPal. So I definitely appreciate the donation to the channel as well. And I'm glad I saw that because a lot of times I don't get to see the PayPal donations until long after the show is over. And I need to, you know what, I'm going to start putting a list of the folks who support the channel so that I can show my appreciation. Definitely will be doing that and starting doing that really soon. So I want to show you that nowadays tumblers are the hot things. Okay. So now we have tumblers that we can look at. I'm sorry, sublimate. Is there anyone with a commercial machine in Hampton Roads? Potential 200 piece hat order front and back. Woo! That will be doing the 6th. Debbie Kidd, have you checked out Lids at the mall? Because Lids does, okay, so Brenda R, if she has a commercial machine, she could definitely help. But if she does not have the capacity, Lids, I'm more than positive, is in Virginia Beach. And they have a program where they will, if you do so many hats, you get a discount. And if you need to, email me and I'll get the information from the manager here so that you'll know what to ask for at Lids. And that may be something you can do, especially if you have that in the budget for that particular project. But here are some tumblers that can be sublimated on. Okay, Brenda R got you. That's what's up. Go Brenda. Go Brenda. Oh, Will, are you in here? If you're in here, Will, I need to ring the bell for your, wait a minute, what did you get? I know you got the printer, but didn't you get something else? No, you got the continuous ink system. Is there a donation link on this site? Yes. There's a couple of ways, Miss Bobby. There is a down where you type in the chat, there's a $sign there. It's called Super Chat. You can donate there if you would like. There's also, I'm pretty sure the PayPal Me link is listed below where you can donate directly through PayPal. And I appreciate either way. I don't think Will is in here, Miss I don't think Will is in here, Miss Brenda. Let me see. I'm trying to. I don't see Will. He might have had to step away. But Will, whenever you come back, let me know so we can ring the bell for you. So there's tumblers. There's the coffee mugs. All right. Look at the different, I mean, how many different types of coffee mugs? I mean, how much coffee can one person drink? So you have a plethora of coffee mug options. They even have one that's not ceramic. That is, it looks like some polymer. It's a polymer material. So it's not glass, so you don't have to worry about dropping it and breaking it, right? Peppermint Sparkly Life. Well, hello, welcome. I don't have a favorite in the hoop doll. Haven't done a baby doll yet. Thinking because his computer, no, he was on his phone. Miss Leah. He did have the computer off at the shop, but I think he was at home, so he was able to watch the video from his cell phone. But I still want to ring the bell for him, because even Miss Brenda knew. I forgot, and he didn't mention it either. Now I do want to point out that they do have a sublimatable glass mug here, so you can sublimate on glass. I don't know, is it getting clear, somewhat clear? So you can do glass in addition to ceramic. These are especially coated for sublimation, so you can't go to Dollar Tree and just pick up a glass and sublimate on it. These have a special coating that allow it to be sublimated. They have steins that you can sublimate on. This is JDS Industries. JDSindustries.com. Whoops. There you go. JDS Industries. So like I said, let them know that, well, right now you can't let them know nothing because I got it under a different company name. I got two different companies going on over here. Here is a travel mug, travel water bottle, and look, shot glasses for those who like shot glasses, and liquor flasks that are sublimatable. Trying to tell y'all, all this stuff you can sublimate on is crazy. But mugs, shot glasses, any of the round things, you have to have a special heat press wrap in order to use this to heat press it. And you have to have the cup heat press part for a heat press. Like the flat heat press, you can't do that. Now this stuff you can. So here are some drink coasters that you can sublimate on, and this page also has a puzzle on here, but there's more puzzles further in the book. So you can do drink coasters, you can do koozies. Here are koozies. They got the shirt shaped koozie, bottle shaped koozie, can koozies. They have cutting boards here, spoon rests here, kitchen signs here that you can sublimate on. And sublimation, basically, you can, if you can print a picture of it, if you can print a picture or type out a picture or create a picture or take a picture of a picture, and you can sublimate it and you can put it on there. You just have to remember to mirror it. Don't ask me how I know that. You just have to be able to mirror it, and you can put it on a sublimatable item. Hang on, there you go, Miss Debbie. You have tiles, ceramic tiles. So if you want to redo your kitchen with a picture of whatever, make your own ceramic tile backsplash. All right, so you can do that. They even have frames where you can use the ceramic tiles to create your own ceramic tile picture. Sublimation. So these are stones that you can sublimate on and make whatever. Mirta Flores, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I am showing off a sublimation catalog so that you can learn the different things that you can sublimate on. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. Plaques. They have plaques that you can create and use to applaud or celebrate somebody for something. These are the plaques. I'm trying to look, and we're only on page 30 of 100 and something, 20 something. That goes to show what all we got. They have different shape plaques that you can do and make this, but this is one company. There are other companies that have similar sublimation stuff, and some other companies may have one or two things that this company may not have. All right. More plaques, we'll skip that. More plaques, we'll skip that. Photo panels. Okay, so here are aluminum photo panels. So I wish, well, no, actually I can't bring that photo panel because that's a personal picture for my husband had made. But here are photo panels. So it's a sheet of aluminum or metal, and you can put a picture on the metal, and it's different, it's unique. It's not like a picture that you get printed. It's actually on metal, and it has a really cool look to it and a really cool feel. So you can print on photo panels. All right, so they have those as well. You have a good day at work, Kim Lace. Thank you for joining us. These people are actually geared for industrial sublimation as well. So they even have signs that are for businesses. Like, for instance, notice how, see how this is a, see how this is a picture of a plaque that would be out at a park or something, at a tourist spot. You can sublimate on that long sheet of a panel, aluminum panel, and put it out at a place, a tourist location. So that's another way you can use aluminum, sublimatable aluminum, and sublimate on. And here's that material I was telling you guys about, where you can create a sublimation out of something that's not ordinarily sublimatable. So if you found a specific tile that you liked and you wanted to sublimate on that tile, you would use that material to turn the tile that you found into a sublimation tile, or a piece of wood, for instance, if you found that. Wood photo panels, more photo panels. Okay, so here's some cool stuff. All right, so they have photo frames, they have cornhole boards, they have basketball goals that you can sublimate on, buy and sublimate, which is pretty cool. They have outdoor building signs, which again, I mentioned that. And then they have garden stakes, so that you can put signs out in the garden. So this would be cool for someone who wants to put a yard sign out and they want it to be professional looking. More aluminum signs. These are message boards, or they also have clipboards in here somewhere. So to-do lists or vision boards you can create and sublimate. Subacrylic are like the plaques that are clear. You can sublimate on those and give as awards, and or say, for instance, a special presentation, graduation, 50th anniversary, something like that. You could preserve in glass. That would be really nice. They have acrylic paperweights, so we're gonna skip that. Really cool. They have glasses cleaning cloths. Now I've been doing those because they're so easy. I mean, it's just a flat piece of cloth. And this is something that I was going to use in a project I had mentioned on live last week that I was supposed to put up. I haven't had time to do that yet, to do that project. So I do need to do that and haven't done it yet, but that's going to be a part of it. And this is the pouch to go on the back of the cell phone. Sublimate that and customize cell phone pouches and sell them if you're interested. Name badges, keychains, luggage tags. Tons and tons and tons of luggage tag options. Tons of luggage tag options. Oh my gosh. Matter of fact, one of the things that we look to do is have luggage tags made for those who are going on the custom craft cruise. So if you are going on the cruise before the end of the year, you will have your luggage tag sent to you, so that when you're getting ready for the cruise, you can just put your Custom Craft Cruise luggage tag on your baggage. Then we have keychains. These are aluminum ones, I think. Yeah, these are aluminum and these are wood keychains for sublimation. All right, y'all, I'm gonna be here all day going through all of this stuff. More keychains. These are metal ones. Metal keychains that you can sublimate. Stop me when you're tired, because I'm gonna keep going. Dog tags, which are very popular with sublimation. The dog tags are. A lot of people love those dog tags and actual dog tags. So pet tags for the collars. They have pet bandanas that you can sublimate as well, which are really neat. So for those who like their pets, oh, the bandanas were on that side, sorry. They even have pet urns. A little sad, but yes, they have pet urns. Don't want to have to sublimate a pet urn. Here are my bracelets, and as you see, wait a minute, let me get it right. There are different sizes that are available, and one other type down at the bottom that has a round section for like a monogram. So there are bracelets, there's magnets. They even have charm bracelets where you can make charms, sublimate charms, which would be really cute. Like my bracelet that I did with the grandbabies, but do each of their picture on the little teeny round charm. That would be kind of cool. And then on this side you have more charms, or more pendants, sorry. A pendant to go on necklaces. Patches, which I thought was really interesting. You can sublimate on patches, which, come to think of it, I can make a sublimation patch. It's not difficult, but they sell them if you wanted to buy one ready made and just sublimate on it. And then on this side are lanyards and award ribbons over here, and pillowcases. More stuff to sublimate. I have bought lanyards and wish I had brought it in to show you and didn't. I apologize. Ornaments, some ceramic, some plastic ornaments, more ornaments. As you can see, just ornaments for days in all kinds of shapes. So these will be great by the time the end of the year comes around. What I've been having a lot of fun with, you guys, are these slides, y'all. Oh my gosh. And they've been selling like hotcakes too. These slides here, I put my dad's clothing brand on it, and they love those slides. Whoops. So the flap comes separate off the shoe. You sublimate the flap and then put the shoe together, much like you do this flip-flop. They have flip-flops you can sublimate as well. Brenda, yes, honey, yes. Very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, and shoelaces were down here at the bottom. You can sublimate shoelaces. Yeah, my crazy daughter already hit me up talking about she wants some Gucci slides, and I'm like, I'm not making no Gucci slides. Sorry. They ain't that serious. Golf towels, golf divots, and then pendants over here on this side. Banners was there. Clipboards. I had mentioned clipboards. Name plaques. Look at that. Office, hotel room sign thing. Whatever that's called. I can't think of what that's called. Oh no, that actually look, yeah, door sign. Okay, that's a door sign. Bookmarks down here. I thought about making some baby's booty bookmarks and seeing if you guys wanted to win some. Okay, so now we're getting into more cool stuff, so to speak. I'm saying cool, but just different stuff. So like here are tote bags up here. Let me get it right. Tote bags are up here. Then you have a clock. Is that a clock? No, sorry, mouse pad. These are mouse pads. The clock is on the other page. Legal pad portfolio is right here. This is a glasses case, some kind of PVC wallet, and a bag. There, we're gonna look at all kind of bags and stuff. But here are totes and such, mouse pads. Then on this side you got tape measures, you got a messenger bag, you got a drawstring bag, you got that other kind of bag right there. Don't even know what it is right now. You know what? I need to look at that bag. Bag with adjustable shoulder strap. I might have to get me one of those. But anyways, I digress. So they have tons of stuff. No Gucci. Yeah, no, not doing no darn Gucci. She done lost her man. So car flags, stadium seats, pads for you to sit on down here, stadium seating, and then the car flags up top, and then over here the license plates, vanity plates things, and the vanity plate holder on this side. So for the teenager that gets a new whip, you can put a vanity plate for them. More bags. These are coolers and wine holders, coolers. Then on this side you got aprons, you got your oven mitt, you got your glove, and then your tool holder as a gift. Cool stuff. Bottle openers, wine bottle stoppers. Then on this side you have cutting boards and just all kind of neat shapes for the cutting boards over here. I know you think I ain't gonna be broke. I'm still broke. From, cause see, I'm gonna tell you how they get you. Brenda R, do they require minimums for the purchase of those items? Yes and no, and I'm gonna tell you how to get you with that. So depending upon what it is, like as we get further in the book, or no, actually they were on the page with the dog bandana. There's a company that sells sublimation stuff named Vapor. Vapor sells a lot of really popular sublimatable items. As a matter of fact, I plan to get a box of their socks to sublimate on. Vapor is a name brand, and for them, they have a minimum. Sorry, they do have a minimum for Vapor. Like, I want to buy socks. I want to buy one pair just to try it out. And would like to see how it will, they're like, nope, you gotta buy a whole box. Sorry, can't buy one. I'm like, but bruh, I want, nope, gotta buy a whole box. So Vapor limits, and you have to buy a certain amount. Everybody else, for the most part, it will tell you at the back of the catalog here in the price section, it'll tell you if you can buy one of something or do you buy more of something. And the cool thing is, the more you buy, the less expensive it is. So that's a good thing. You buy in bulk, it does get cheaper. But a lot of this stuff, you can buy one. And like I mentioned, if you open an account with them, they give you a $25 credit towards free samples of their products. So if you wanted to try a bottle opener, for instance, however much it is, say it's $5, then $5 of that $25 will go towards the credit of one. You can only do free sample one of each thing. Okay, so you can't be like, well, I need 10 free samples, because that ain't gonna work. So one of each thing, up to $25 total. And the more you buy from them, you also earn credits, which is cool too. So this is a really good company to buy from and to get your sublimation stuff from. The majority of the stuff, you don't have a minimum. You can buy just one. It's more expensive that way, but you can buy just one. And then they have, look, serving trays that can be sublimated. So you sublimate the panel and then put it in the tray. So you sublimate the panel, but you get the tray to go with whatever panel it is. Keepsake boxes, like jewelry boxes or whatever. I'm trying to tell y'all, I've been so broke. Anyway, clocks, as I mentioned earlier. There's your clocks. And there's no way for me to go through prices of this stuff either, because it's just so much. Poker chips. You want to make our own poker chips and have us a ladies' night poker game? Yeah, you can make your own casino chips. Puzzles, which I get my puzzles from Amazon. They're way less expensive, so I get mine there. And here are key holder boards, or whatever you call them. where you can hang stuff. Hanger, it's called. What else do they have? Now we're getting into more plaques type stuff, like award, or you know, that type plaque stuff. So I'm gonna skip all of this because that's not something that we necessarily will use. You're welcome, Miss Ethel. Trust me, when I came across, I'm like, who? Yes, y'all just woo, yes. And I can order and go pick it up in an hour. Yes, thank you, appreciate that. Because they're not too terribly far from my house. I could be there in 25 minutes. Order it, go get it, and the folks there are nice. I absolutely love it. So here is shirts you can order from here to sublimate on. Now these are Gildan brand. I actually buy my shirts and stuff from a completely different company. Miss Brenda R, check with JDS Industries because they have several locations. They have 14 different warehouses around the country. So here's where they are. And of course there's boop, that's little old me right there. There's Florida, there's Georgia, I'm assuming, you know, so they're all across the map. Who knows, they could be close to you. So definitely check them out. But here is, I showed the material that this is tag material that you can sublimate on and put it on a dark shirt. But they also have sleeves. So those sports sleeves that a lot of these kids wear that play football and whatnot. Now see, notice this is from Vapor. This is the name of that company. So I can't buy just one of these to try it out. I gotta buy a whole blank box of their stuff because they're special. And I can't be mad because they're getting their coins. Socks. This is what I want to sublimate on, are some socks. Super excited about that because I absolutely love the lanyard and the shoes. They turned out really, really cool. So I'm hoping the socks will be just as fun. So the socks are going to be a lot of fun, I think. Blankets with photo panels. And then we get over into some baby stuff. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, Brenda R. So more stuff to, they have beanies, they have bibs, they have burp cloth thingy baby blanket, not burp cloth, that's a small fleece baby blanket, 16 inches by 12 inches. What baby they gonna cover up with that? Anyway, ear warmer, scarves, and bandanas, which it's by Vapor. So 9 times out of 10 you can't buy one. Onesies and shirts, we'll skip all of this because their clothing is, I'm sure, pricey, and it's better to just there's other places to get it. But actually I'm gonna show you something that some folk may not really understand. Okay, so sublimation, you sublimate, how did you sublimate the shoes you mentioned? I'll show you here in a moment. When you sublimate, sublimation is normally done on white. You can sublimate lighter colored and colored shirts. What do I mean? So for instance, notice this guy's shirt here, and they have colors that you can sublimate on, but notice his shirt. See, he has that digger on his shirt. There's no white in here at all. So say if he wanted that little window to be white, he won't be able to because the shirt is yellow. So that's why the background of his window is yellow. It takes the color of the shirt because sublimation doesn't print white. Now they do have white toner printers and laser printers, but for sublimation ink, there is not a sublimation that you can do on a colored shirt. All right, so that's why when people are saying you sublimate on white or light colored, that's why. See, notice the blue one here, and see how the background of that shirt takes on the blue. There's no white in that. So when you do your sublimation ink and put it in the printer, is red, white, red, blue, yellow, and black are your colors in the printer. There's no white. All right, so that's all the sublimation stuff. They also sell heat presses. All right, so that's the majority of the catalog. They sell mug presses. Their stuff is super high, being honest. I'm sure that it has good support behind it and that it's good quality stuff. If you can afford it, definitely go for it. They even have a heat press where while you getting one side, you can press the other side, then you're done with that side, swing it to that side and get that side ready while that side pressing. That's just how efficient these folks done got with these heat presses. And then they have things to go with your heat press, such as your silicone sheets and pads for your heat press. Then they also have sublimation paper that you can buy from them. Conde Systems, which is Dytrans, also sells sublimation paper. And then here are Sawgrass sublimation printers. They sell these as well. So if you wanted to sublimate with a Sawgrass printer instead of using the Epson less expensive version, you can go with the higher quality version. So this is an example of some of the things you can actually sublimate on here with this particular company. They are awesome. They are totally awesome. They're very nice. Suitable Key Products is the name of the company that I'm using with them. I'll probably be changing that eventually, but right now that's the company that I use. I have two companies, but that is the company that is over our clothing brand. There it is. So let me grab the shoes so that I can show you the shoes. They're over here. All right, so here are the shoes and how to sublimate on them somewhat. I don't have the sublimation machine on. Let me make sure this is the right one. Yep. Okay. So this is how the shoe comes in the package. Okay. So this is the strap that goes across the front that you sublimate on. All right. So you pretty much look at how the shoe is made. All right. And you sublimate however you want to. Now for our particular clothing brand, we sublimate it where you could read it this way. When the person is standing there, you look down, you can read it. The person who's wearing the shoe sees it as upside down. And then we sublimated our business name across the clothing line across the front. And this is white, but let me show you what that looks like with our particular logo on the shoe. Let's see. Oh, I can show y'all the difference with the shoes. That's one picture. I don't know how well you can see that sandal or that slide there. So the whole strap was black. Actually, I can show you. Cleaned up and tan up again already. Okay, so here is what it looks like, or what it looked like before I sublimated it. This is the actual one of the actual printouts. And what I do in order to make these, all right, I just took the strap and lined it up on the paper, made sure that the black wasn't outside of the white anywhere. So I think this one went with that strap because there's more space over here. And I just centered it, lined it up just like this on the thing. You got to make sure that this rubber part is hanging off of the heat press. So heat press can go right up to here and over, and you press it paper side down, and once you're done, take it off after 60 seconds and you got a pair of slides. Well, you got to put the slides together, and that's not simple, but it's not super hard either. So my mom to show off in my junky studio at that time. I've cleaned up since then. She's wearing, with her socks, she wanted to sublimate. She sublimated some socks that she got from Macy's, I think she said, with her slides and her shirt that she did vinyl with the No Look brand. How secure are those Velcro straps? My son and my dad have been wearing them and haven't had any issues out of them. They're pretty strong. What did I do with the strap? Oh, so you know, it's pretty strong. You know, so of course pulling it off that way, but just pulling at it, it's pretty strong. And these straps, you gotta struggle to get them in there, but once you get these straps in, they're pretty snug. They're pretty snug. So we've enjoyed them. Same company, yes, JDS Industries. JDS Industries sells the slides. And I thought about putting McQuackins on my slides. I still ain't figured out. I want to put something on a pair for myself, but I have yet to figure out what I'm going to put on them. I should wear my dad's brand, the No Look clothing brand, but I haven't made up my mind on whether I'm going to do that or not. And those are her slides. Let me see if I can show you his. Show you his slides, and he gonna fuss because he ain't want nobody to see his feet. So that's how his turned out. We did the white version for his strap. We didn't do the full black background. We did the white background for his. So it's been fun. It's been fun. I've been telling you, I've been a sublimating fool around here. Okay, so I can show you with my, I just realized my screen was jacked up, but notice these are the same keychain, same sublimation paper. Same sublimation blank. All right, it's a keychain. But the bottom one I did with regular paper, the regular hammer mill paper. The top one I did with sublimation paper. So you can still see it still looks great, but the bottom ball just isn't as vivid as the top ball is with using paper versus using sublimation paper. And here's a baseball version of the same thing. So you can see it's more, and it's more grainy at the bottom. Not me, the phone, the camera. Okay. It's more grainy at the bottom than it is at the top. So that's why I'm saying, you know, with, whoops. Let's see. This one's a little harder to see. But the ones with the sublimation paper are darker and richer in color than the bottom ones that I did with the regular paper. So regular paper will sublimate. It will definitely sublimate. It's just not as crisp as the sublimation paper, and that's on the hard substrates. Okay, so on t-shirts, it's like it's not as easy to tell. But on those hard things, you can definitely tell the difference with using paper versus using sublimation paper. Hello, little Miss Boutique. How are you? And Miss Barb Gossett. You have done the flip-flops. They came out very nice. Well, that's awesome sauce. I thought about trying the flip-flops, but I'm just like, do I really want to sublimate some? Do I really want to sublimate flip-flops? Charlene Mitchell, can you sublimate with the HP printers? From what I understand, there is a Hewlett-Packard printer that you can sublimate with, but which ones, I don't know. I did research when I started embarking on the decision to try sublimation. I wanted to make sure of everything before I even, pulled the trigger. So I joined a sublimation group on Facebook. I checked in one of my other craft groups where a lot of the ladies do sublimation. I asked questions. I stalked folks' pages to see what they were doing, how they did it, what they talked about, what they bought, what they didn't buy. Then I switched to YouTube, started doing research on the company that I got the ink from, the company that I got the ink system from. I just really took my time and did my research, because you guys donate to the channel, and I do use that for a lot of the things that we have here, so that you can learn from what I'm learning from. All right, but I'm not about to waste money. I'm not going to waste the money. That's not gonna happen. So I wanted to make sure that I did thorough research and make sure of what I was getting into prior to doing that, because of course sublimation is a business actual. So there's companies like Shutterfly where they create photo books and mugs and some of everything with sublimation, and they're making a killing every year with their products. But a regular person doing sublimation, how transparent is that? How easy is that to get into without that high dollar equipment that, like sawgrass for instance? So I just wanted to definitely check. Now, as far as which HP printer, I don't know, but what I will suggest is to go and Google HP sublimation printer, or what HP printer can I use for sublimation. What HP printer can I use for sublimation? And it'll pull up a list of the ones that you can use. Now, what I would definitely suggest as well, based on what feedback from other ladies in the group that do sublimation, or that got into it on this lower end scale, if you find a printer, let it be a new printer and start it out with sublimation and leave it as sublimation. Because once you do a printer with sublimation, you can't switch it back to regular ink, from what I've been reading and from what I've been told. So once you make that choice to sublimate a printer, and that's it, you don't switch it back to anything else. And once you've used a printer with regular ink, from what I understand, you can switch it to sublimation, but you risk contaminating the sublimation ink with the ink, with basic ink, and you don't want to do that either. So it would really be a good idea to have it be a new printer that you're introducing sublimation only to it, and that's it. You don't use anything else. Can you put the link to buy the product to sublimation on? Yes, I got you sold on sublimation. Well, direct to garment, I've been talking to folks that direct to garment isn't cool. There's no and it could, now granted, it could be the brand that they were using. I don't know what brand they were using. I just know that I've made really good friends with a store not far from here in a neighboring city, and they do sublimation, direct to garment, vinyl, they do embroidery, they have the Melco machine that they do embroidery with, they do heat transfer, the whole nine, in this one store in the mall. And I've gotten in really good with them. They're really cool people. And she was like, if you do anything, don't let it be direct to garment. She said, because it's trash. We barely use it. Whenever we do, it's not consistent. And we just prefer not to use it. We do more heat transfer than we do direct to garment anyway. And I was like, what? Even more than sublimation? She said, sublimation we don't do on garments. They don't do shirts for sublimation. They do the keychains, the license plates, the cups, that type stuff. But for shirts, they do heat transfer. That's their mainstay in that particular store. So when you are looking at direct to garment, she was like, don't do it. That's a waste of money. But again, it could be the brand that they had. Maybe that machine just wasn't consistent or something. I don't know. But she really scared me with direct to garment. But I've also had in industries.com. Let me double check and make sure I'm telling you the right thing. jdsindustries.com. So I've also had people give me scary stories about using the Epson printer for sublimation. You got to do this and you got to do that, and it's trash, and I wasted my money and blah blah. But I think what that was more user error, that maybe they didn't set it up correctly, or they let it sit for days at a time and not use it. Like I haven't used it today, but I will be using it tomorrow, because you have to use it regularly to keep the ink flowing and to keep the ink from drying up, because the ink is especially thick ink. It's like a gel. It's not like just regular ink. So you have to be careful. The longer it sits, the more it can gel up and jam up your system. So you really need to be using the sublimation printer if you're going to do it. All right, so definitely definitely follow the directions, pay attention. Brenda R says she uses an Epson for sublimation, and from what I understand, they even have a Epson has a sublimation machine, from what I understand. I haven't seen it yet. But does the sublimation process use a lot of ink? Are the supplies for the process expensive? So far, with me doing this on Amazon, the printer was $150, not including tax and whatnot, and it was free shipping on Amazon. So about $150 for the printer. The continuous ink supply system was $50, I'll say $60. I'll round it up. So $60 for that. And the ink was $25, $25.99 if I'm not mistaken. And I've been, let's see, we'll take a look. Hold on. Let's go on a little trip over here. I don't know how far you can stretch, but let me show you my ink. Let's see. So here is the ink. I started this how long ago? I don't know how long ago I started it, but it hasn't been 2 months, maybe a month. And I've been doing a heck of a lot of printing, and this is what I got left. So I've been using the heck out of some ink. I've been doing shoes, I've been doing keychains, I've done lanyards, I've trashed designs where my crazy tail forgot to mirror and had to throw it away, or printed it too small, had to throw it away, or didn't print it out correctly for some reason, had to throw it away. I've thrown away a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm learning, you know, and that's okay. So being that I'm learning as well, you're going to have waste. So going through all of that ink and learning the process and printing and trying the stuff out and yada yada, I still haven't even gotten halfway on that tank of ink. And I've made sure that just in case I'm misjudging my ink and how it's flowing, I bought a whole new thing of ink. It's sitting over there in the container, not even poured in there. They're still in the bottles unopened, and I still got ink, ton of ink over there in the thing. So that's been going really well. I haven't used up much ink at all. So $25 for 4 bottles, which I showed y'all the bottles that I had that were empty. Or did I show you the bottles? I don't think I showed you the bottles. I just showed you the box. Ink X Pro. I just showed you the box. So here's this is what you get for $25. You get a bottle of black. Now this is empty. This is the very first. That's what's over there in that printer, in that reservoir now. Here's black, blue. This is all for $25. This whole box. Red and yellow. So you get 4 of these bottles. Each bottle fills up that section of that reservoir all the way to the top. So I've used about a quarter, maybe not even a quarter of it. And it comes with, that I'm throwing all over the place, comes with syringes to help you fill it up, you know, and get your ink where it needs to be. That's your ink. Sublimation ink. The paper, the sublimation paper. The sublimation paper was, let me look that up because I don't want to lie on how much the sublimation paper was that I bought. It was 110 sheets, that I do know. And it was, nope, shoot, hold on, let me look right here. 110 sheets for, this one is $16. I think the one I bought was $18.99. So 20 bucks for a pack of 110 sheets of sublimation paper. Now, because I'm new and I've been experimenting and messing up and throwing some away, or like in this instance where I printed this and this part down here is wasted, and some I have scraps of sheets left, but just going through paper like that, 110 sheets, I think I'm down to maybe 5 sheets left. It's time for me to order more sublimation paper. So you'll go through the paper, which is also why I liked using the hammer mill so much, especially for shirts. All right, so the shirts, the hammer mill paper was perfect for. No issues whatsoever. You get a 500 sheet pack of hammer mill paper for $13. So you can do 500 shirts for $13, and that's 11 by 14 paper, not 8 by 10 of the hammer mill. So what I'm going to do tonight is I will put a sublimation section on the Amazon store so that you can see exactly what products I bought, and that worked absolutely great for me. And I'll even throw in some of the sublimation blanks that I've used for sublimation off of Amazon. Now, the shirts that I use for sublimation are Gildan performance shirts. All right, most of your shirts that you'll use for sublimation are performance shirts. So the Gildan performance shirt that I use, the number to it is 42,000, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Pretty sure it's 42,000. There's one that's 4,600, and you could use that too. Okay, now I'm gonna show you something else as well. Oh, maybe it is 4,600. Cause what was 42? It is 4,200. Okay. So the Gildan Performance line, Gildan Performance, it says that it is 100% polyester. So each one of those color shirts you can sublimate on. Now, you can sublimate on red or purple if you're using black dye, because the black is going to show up. But if you're trying to put white, the white's not going to show up. So if the image of what you're using is black, you can sublimate on colors, okay, and it'll show up. They have performance shirts, they have performance hoodies. All of these are 100% polyester. Excellent for sublimation. Excellent. They also have Dry Blend, the Dry Blend brand of shirts, which are not 100% polyester. They're a blend, so it's 65% polyester and 35% cotton. So it'll feel more like a t-shirt and less like a sports shirt, so to speak. So these are okay for doing sublimation as well. And notice they got one with the black line, the black trim on the shirt, which could be pretty cool shirt to sublimate on if you wanted to do something different. And then they have the Dry Blend that is 50-50 as well. So anything, if it has polyester, you can sublimate on it. I don't know what it is about polyester and sublimation. It's just, it sucks the ink, and it loves sublimation ink. Where did you purchase the bracelet blanks? From JDS Industries, the JDS book that I was showing earlier is where I got the bracelet blanks from. And they also sell that this bendy thingy. They sell this too, but I got mine from Michael's. And this is in the section where you would do stamping, metal stamping for bracelets. Crap, I can't find the I don't know where the box that this came in, but it came with bracelets in it, but they're really thin, and they're used for, you would stamp letters in the metal or whatever you would stamp. And that's where this is found, at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. So you can get that too. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I use the Epson Artisan 1430 with refillable cartridges. Maybe I should try a continuous ink. Okay, so the thing with who will you be ordering your ink refill from? The ink refill I'm ordering is the same ink that I got off of Amazon. It's off of Amazon. You're welcome, Grant and Favor. Thank you. The thing about the continuous ink system is if you're not doing a whole lot of sublimation, like on a regular basis, like a lot, you can get away with the cartridges, because you still, like for me, as much ink as I have left in them BLING reservoirs, I probably still wouldn't be refilling my cartridge right now. It would probably still be doing just fine with the ink in just the cartridge. But I was thinking that the ink would run out much faster, so that's why I got that system. And it's not, it's taking a sweet time emptying the cartridges. So if you're going through cartridge, like if you're having to refill your cartridges once a month, yeah, you may want to do the continuous ink system. But if you're not refilling them every month, then just stick with the continuous ink system. I'm sorry, the cartridges. Stick with the cartridges. So I did label tags for branding my products. That's another really good idea. Yes, polyester label tags for sure. Colored tags, yes, please, thank you. Very good idea, actually, Miss Debbie D. Because the lanyard strips, the lanyard straps is polyester. All right, so you can get that polyester strapping and make labels out of them. Especially if you get some thin, you're not refilling them as much. See, so I mean, you're okay with the cartridges. I wouldn't change that. Use what you got. So for around 200, you can get started with sublimation. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Long as the printer is still 159-ish. Your if you do the cartridges, from what I understand, they're less expensive than the continuous ink system. I'll see if I can't find the cartridges for you, ma'am, and send you a link to them. But the cartridges, I think, are less expensive than the continuous ink system. And if so, then, like I said, the continuous ink system was $60. So actually a little more than 200, more like 210, 220. Because you need your ink, which is 25. You need your, let's just say, go ahead and go with the continuous ink system. That's 60. You need your printer, which is 150, 160, something like that. Then you need your paper, whether it be the pack of Hammermill, which is 15 if you do 14 by 11, or if you do the sublimation paper pack of 110 sheets, you still need your paper. So can we use sublimation inks when printing on printable vinyl? Yes, you can. I have, and they turned out gorgeous. I can. You can, sorry. And it's funny because you see how this is so light. That looks gray, right? But the sublimation ink is so cool that it looks muted when it prints out. But as soon as you press it, it becomes vivid. You know, so when I was first starting, now that I think about it, it's kind of funny. When I was first starting and I was printing out, because I made a Prince shirt, because I love Prince, child. Oh, Prince was, he was my everything at one point in time in my life. But anyways, so I made a shirt with Prince on it for myself. And when I was printing out his picture, I'm sitting here like, okay, I need his picture to come out more vivid than that. I want it to look good on the shirt, because I didn't know that once you press it, it brings out the colors, right? So I kept printing it over and over and over again, trying to get it to print more vivid, not realizing that just because I was bumping up the quality of the printing, it still wasn't making a difference. It was still coming out muted. It was hilarious now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. So when I finally caught on, I'm like, duh. So I don't even print on performance or high quality. I print regular. And when you print out regular, it still comes out vivid and gorgeous, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, sublimation is a trip. I absolutely love it. Still not bad seeing that the Conde was $600 just for the printer. Exactly. And if I'm not mistaken, $600 is for the 8x10 printer, Whereas the Epson 7710, which is what I have back there, it will print up to 13 by 19. 13 by 19 is how big that printer will print. So the majority of the time I'm printing 8 by 10 because I've been doing little stuff lately. But when I was doing shirts, it was 11 by 17 is what I was printing mostly. But I can print 19 by 13 paper if I wanted to with that printer. And Conde, the price of that printer is $2,000. Matter of fact, let's look and see what the price of that printer is, because it's right here in the book. This one is 8 by 12. Where is it? 8 by 12. This one is 11 by 17. What page is this? Since they ain't want to give me a price, suckers. Yeah, this one maximum paper size, sorry, 8.5 by 14. This one maximum paper size 11 by 17. So I don't even see a 13 by 19. And the printer is Sawgrass. Sawgrass SG 400, which is the 8.5 by 14, is $550 with this company. That is just the printer. That's printer package. Okay, but the extended warranty is $80. The bypass tray is $160. The option tray is $179. Waste ink collector is $37, and 4 standard ink cartridges. 4 standard ink cartridges. How much did I tell y'all my 4 bottles of ink was? You remember how much I said them 4 bottles of ink was? Who remembers? And if I can remember to mail it out, Debbie Kid, you already got a magnet, so me sending you a magnet ain't gonna work. $25 for my ink. Who want to guess how much 4 cartridges, standard cartridges of ink is for this company? Who want to guess? How much you think their ink cartridges are? It's a blame shame. Oh my God. And then the standard cartridge is even more. Nope. Higher. $75 a color. 75 a color. 75, 75. Close, Debbie Kid. Dang, 4 standard cartridges, $340. $340 for 4 cartridges. That's standard. The extended cartridges, $524. Sawgrass. $524 for the extended cartridges. All right. Now the price I told you, $550 for the 8.5 by 14 printer. The 11 by 17 printer, $1,599. $1,600. Didn't I tell you it was $2,000? Because that's just the printer. That's not the extended warranty for a year of $250. That's not the tray. That's not the ink. So yeah, when somebody's like, yeah, you can sublimate with an Epson blah 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 for $250, sure. Where do I sign up? Yeah, no, sorry. That's better all day long, any day, especially for somebody. Now, okay, don't get it twisted. If you like Miss Debbie Kidd, for instance, and she has the full-fledged embroidery business, storefront, the whole 9, yeah, Sawgrass. If you got folk coming in and out, or at the mall, for instance, you're at the mall, you got a spot at the mall, or some other high traffic area where sublimation is like in demand, and they're beating your door down wanting 50 shirts this week and this day, and 20 shirts the next day, and 150 for the family reunion the next week. Okay, yeah, sawgrass. Go with that. I mean, because that'll probably beat that printer in the ground. But if you're at home and you're doing like few orders here and there, a couple of things here and there, you know, maybe a 100-piece order this month, and the next month maybe a 20-piece. Okay, that's where you want to go with that, because your volume isn't going to pay for something like that, you know. And that's just my opinion. Now I could be wrong, but the way my bank account is set up, the way my bank account works, yeah, no, it was gonna be absent irregardless. So at any rate, I hope you ladies enjoyed. My husband told me, he was like, you gonna be gone for 2 hours. I'm not gonna be gone 2 hours, honey. I don't even know why you saying that. It's 10 o'clock, y'all. He gonna be mad. He ain't gonna be mad, but he gonna be like, I told you we're gonna be gone 2 hours. Miss Carol Coleman, I will tell him that you said hello. I did get that message. I apologize for not acknowledging that earlier. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had fun. The sublimation thing is really cool. I didn't get to ring the bell for Will. You know what? Let's ring the bell for Will, even though he ain't here. He just got to watch the replay. That's for you, Will. Congratulations on your new Epson baby, because Will did go get the 7710 and he's been sublimating, and he's like, wow, this works, and wow, this looks great. And I'm like, I wasn't gonna lie to you. I was telling you because I saw it work. If I had not seen it work for myself, I could understand. I told you it worked. I knew it worked because I was doing it, and it's been phenomenal. It's been fun. Oh, it's been fun, y'all. Oh, it's been so much fun. I do like sublimation. I like sublimation a lot, actually, because it's easy. You print it out, press it, and go on about your business. And the coolest thing was standing there and having a person say, so I can just send you a picture through email and you print it out right here and put it on the puzzle right now? Yep, give me 5 minutes and I'll have it on there. 5 minutes later, I was putting their puzzle in the bag and handing it to them, and they were like in awe of how quick I was able to customize something from a photograph that meant so much to them right there on the spot. And that was rewarding. That was rewarding. It really was. So I do definitely appreciate, you know, something new. And I look forward to sharing more with you guys later. So you're welcome, you all. Thank you. Is your e-photo press visible in your shop, 15 by 15 and 9 by 12? I have both of those. So the main one I use is the 15 by 15, but when I was on location, I used the 9 by 12 as well. But I did my 9 by 12 and had it set up for hats when I was on location. And last night for the, Saturday night, last night for the bling party, I used the small printer on location for the bling, small heat press for the bling party for the kids, and that worked out really well. So I had to lug the big 15 by 15 press, so that was pretty neat. But I do have both. My main one is the 15 by 15. So you wonderful people, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I had a blast tonight. That was fun. I had more fun than I expected. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Same place, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Answering your questions about a lot of these custom crafts that we do. And the end goal is for you to have normally happy embroidering, but this time we're going to say happy crafting. How about that? Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so very much, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.